Hello, 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 and welcome to the Beyond the Book Media's Indie Author Showcase. This is our pre-Black Friday event, and our first up author is Miss Jennifer Black. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello.
You and I get to see one another again. It is a pleasure. It is an honor to speak with you again and talk about your book, which I believe will be a wonderful gift for those that want to give books for the holidays, which is one of my number one gifts. And so we'll just go right into your questions. But again, welcome and welcome to our audience. Thank you for taking the time out this evening to join us for the Indie Author Showcase. This is the Beyond the Book Media's Black Friday event. We want you to get some books so that you can share them for the holidays. And we have with us our indie author for tonight, starting us off, kicking it all off, is Miss Jennifer Black. And so, Miss Jennifer, we'll go right into it. Welcome again. Please tell us about yourself.
Hello, everyone. So honored to be here. Thank you for having me. I am Jennifer Black, and I am from New Jersey, where I currently reside. I am married, and I have a 7-year-old daughter. I am the founder of First 24 Bereavement Concierge Services, where we help families with their affairs before and after loss of a loved one. God called me to people who are dealing with grief after my family experienced back-to-back deaths a couple years ago, and so I really have a heart and a passion for them. And I understand that families need assistance, not just emotionally, but in all areas of their affairs, because they're not thinking clearly and there's so much to do, so many tasks. And so I'm always praying to God to give me more products and services to help people who are dealing with grief, because a lot of times after the funeral, that's when reality hits and they feel forgotten about. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me.
Oh, wow. Welcome. That is something that we'll all need in various stages of our lives, because there's different types of loss that you and I discussed before. So this is going to be good. I am so excited. So tell me about your writing process. How was the writing process? How did it help you in your business and your brand?
The writing process was it was really heavy for me, because I am talking about grief, so I had to tap into what I have experienced, my grief, my losses, right? And then with that, I feel other people's grief as well. So the writing process was a little heavy for me. It was rewarding, kind of like bittersweet, because I knew what kept me going is the fact that I knew people needed this devotional. I knew people were hurting and they needed some kind of healing. So I had to kind of get out of myself and allow the Holy Spirit to just take the wheel and just steer me, because again, a lot of that emotion and those feelings and that grief was coming heavy on me. But all in all, the product is the devotional, so that's what came out of it. And
Right.
yeah.
So in about 5 sentences or less, and please include the title of your book so people will know exactly what book you're talking about, and they can go and purchase it for the holidays. As people are dealing with the loss of a loved one, they'll have an empty chair at the table. And so tell us the name of your book, and tell us about 5 things, 5 sentences or less. Tell us about your book.
Okay, so Here's to Hope is a 30-day devotional to bring healing while grieving. It walks you through the coping process to help heal, restore, and comfort you through the process. And it's a day-to-day journal, so because some of the days are heavier than others, but you get through it as you want. You do it at your own pace, and you can actually write in it once you've processed each chapter.
Oh wow, that is beautiful. So it's something that you are able to, and a devotional where you get to write and engage your own mind and your own thoughts and processes as you deal with grief. That is wonderful and that is powerful, because there's nothing like release through the pen and the pencil. I think that is the most powerful way to release. I know most people type, but I love to write out. So
Absolutely.
that is beautiful because it connects the mind and the heart to the hand, and then you just write out what you're feeling. And most times when we're writing, instead of hearing the clicks of the keyboard, we get to be honest and write and not be distracted by the clicks. So I'm really excited about your book. And so tell us again the name of your book.
It's Here's to Hope.
Here's to Hope. Oh my goodness, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. So who is your book for? I know you kind of said it, but tell us a little bit more, because we have more people joining. So Here's to Hope is for who?
It's for anyone experiencing heaviness, like the heaviness that comes with grief. We all grieve things. We talked about that before, like you said. We grieve physical losses where people are no longer here on the earth, and we grieve loss of relationships, loss of a career, a business partner. There's so many things that we grieve, but this in particular is for people who are dealing with someone they physically lost off of this earth, and they're having a hard time coping with it. They're having a hard time of finding their way towards the healing. They just want to give up. It's just an inspiration and kind of a jolt to get you to start the healing process. And sometimes we're not ready, and this is just kind of like an introductory to that, to show you that you're not the only one going through this, and it's really an encourager again for those who feel really heavy from the grief. You know, people take grief differently. It's custom made to you. So some people, not that they're okay, but maybe they carry it better, or maybe they're moving forward where other people are stuck. And so this is for the people that are stuck.
Wow, this is beautiful. This is for the people that are stuck. And what I love about what you just said is that, you know, you tailored it, so to speak, to the people that are grieving the loss of a loved one or somebody that has transitioned the earth. However, it can be used in multiple arenas or portions of your life when you're grieving the loss of a job or any type of loss. That is beautiful because, like we've spoken about before, many people don't understand that there are various types of losses. When we hear the word loss, we think of death of a person, but there's death in finances, death in friendships, death in relationships. And so this is kind of a guide that can be used, even if not necessarily for a death of a person physically. You can probably pull some things out of there to navigate through the grief and the loss of a friendship, a job, or what have you. So that is a beautiful thing, that it is versatile. I like that.
Thank you.
So where can people purchase your book?
They can purchase it on my website, www.1st. So it's first 1st and the number 24 loss.com. They can get it on Amazon as well, but those are the two that they can get it from.
And so out of this, here's to hope. So what are the top 3, if you will, takeaways you would like your readers to take away when they go through your devotional journal, your devotional?
Grief has no time frame. There is no time frame on it. You can lose someone yesterday, or you can lose someone 20 years ago and still feel like it happened today. So there's no time frame on the grief. Next, feel what you feel unapologetically. If you need to cry, if you need to vent, feel what you feel until you heal. Okay. So I feel as though you can do that as long as you're not hurting yourself or anybody else. Allow yourself to feel what you feel unapologetically. And thirdly, be patient with yourself. Give yourself grace. This is a journey. It is not a sprint. It is a journey, a lifelong journey where you are getting to learn yourself, your new self, this new normal without that person. So you need to give yourself grace and just be patient.
Okay, and so let's tap into that, giving yourself grace and understanding you feel what you feel. I love your shirt, by the way. Feel what you feel unapologetically. In your journal or your devotional, I should say, how do you teach people how to feel what they feel authentically and unapologetically when, you know, most people are saying, oh, it's okay, you should be over by now, they're fine, they're with the Lord, you know, all those things that they probably shouldn't say. What in your book gives those of us that may be grieving inspiration to move past that moment, but also to stay in that moment as long as we deem necessary until we are completely ready to release?
Great question. I just encourage them to, well, first and foremost, this devotional is faith based, and God is the one who gave it to me for the people that are dealing with it. So every chapter in some kind of way leads you back to God, leads you back to allowing him to heal what no one else can do but him, restore, heal, and really give you peace and strength that only he can give you, and give you that grace that we don't give ourselves. And I encourage people to, you know, seek therapy, seek resources, groups, whatever's going to help for you. Now, you may have to kiss a couple frogs, as I say, right? So you may have to go to a couple therapists. You may have to see a few groups where you're like, I'm not sure, right? But be patient with yourself. You may not like that group, but maybe the next one you will. So I encourage them to tap into their resources. Yes, we have God, we have prayer. He is the source, but he also gives us resources. And that's how I, try to encourage them to give themselves grace and try something different, try something that may help with your healing that you're not even sure of, because this is a new you may not like the same things you liked before and vice versa. So you have to be able to give yourself that leeway, give yourself that grace to say, you know what, I missed the mark today, I'm gonna try again tomorrow, and that's okay.
And that's okay. We have so many people watching tonight. I want somebody to drop in the chat, and that's okay. It is okay to say, hey, I tried to get up today after this heartache. Today just wasn't a good day for me. So I'll try this again tomorrow and be okay with that.
Yes.
And we need to understand that grace. And I love the fact that you said it is based on biblical principles, so to speak, that this is Holy Spirit written. And so everything points you back to the source, our source. And then he will in turn tell you the resources needed, be it a therapist, be it a group or whatever. He will lead you and guide you because that's what he does. So he'll lead you to that place of those persons that can really understand where you are and help you out of what I call the pit of grief sometimes. And so to know that the foundational principles of this devotional is the word of the Lord, and so that is the strength, and that's where it comes from. So I really, really, really am excited about this. Here's to hope. That where did you get that title from? How did you come up with that?
Well, the book is dedicated to my 4-year-old niece who passed away in her sleep. It's my best friend, but she's my niece, and that's my sister. So she passed away in her sleep, and her name was Hope. 4 years old. And so when she passed away, I mean, I had losses before that, but this one just, of course, hit completely and totally different. Right. And so I knew God was just pushing me and nudging me more and more, saying, people need this, because before she passed away, I knew that people needed something, right? And I knew that I needed to do something, right? Because I knew what he gave me in regards to people dealing with grief. And then when she passed away, it was like he was really on me, and I couldn't shake it, and I had to do it. And I really pushed myself, because of course I was grieving too, and I just wanted to do it for her, for God. And I knew that people needed this, and I wasn't the only one going through this, and someone else needed hope.
Wow, beautiful name and beautiful testimony of how God, even in the midst of our struggle, still says there's hope, and so I still love you. I'm still here. Just sit with me in the midst of your situation, and I'll help you right on through. So that is beautiful to know that this book is dedicated to the beautiful 4-year-old Hope. That just touched my heart. I was sitting over here like, okay, you can't cry on camera. Oh my goodness. But you have those moments to realize that, and then to think, Jennifer, that he said, I'm choosing you because you already know what it's like with other families, maybe people older, but this is something personal. And so now I get to push you past, and you're going to offer this same hope. So just to know that hope is being given, and I'm talking about the young lady, the little girl, your niece, is she's offering hope to so many people at this moment through your journal, your devotional. That is so beautiful, 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 beautiful. And so, you and I, like I said, we've talked before. You told me they can purchase your book on Amazon, and we're going to drop that link on your website. I'm sorry, you said on your website at www. With the one st 24lost.com is where they will find your book. What do you hope people really gain? I know your 3 takeaways, but when they get this journal, if they're in that place, what is it that you really want them to grasp and understand going through it? Do you expect that they'll go through in the first 31 days, or do you think, is it something that people can take their time with? Their 31 days is their 31 days.
Yeah, I would admonish them to take their time. Yes, it's a 30-day devotional, right? Okay. And there's some days that you need a break. Like there's a couple chapters that says, I need a breather, and there's nothing going on, because I understand that it's heavy. I understand that you need time to process. Maybe you'll read chapter 1 today, and maybe you'll read chapter 2 next month. Maybe you're not ready. I remember one of my clients and readers who purchased the book, she said, I tried to get to chapter, I think it was like 6 or 7, I'm not sure. And she said, I couldn't do it. I said, no problem. There is no pressure. You do it when you're ready. But she said, reading it teared me up. So I told her, Don't even pressure yourself. So I would say, don't pressure yourself. Read it as you can. For people to even pick up the book and read the first two sentences, that's brave. You should be very proud of yourself that you were able to do that, because reading it does, as you were saying, it kind of sinks in the reality, right? That I have to let the
Mm-hmm.
person go, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak, right? That the reality that they're gone, they're not here. And so that's really hard for some people and tough for some people. So I would definitely recommend that you read it at your own pace. Don't read it. It's not like a novel. It's not like
Right.
juicy. It's not that. It's something to help with your healing. It's a resource for you. For
Right.
you. So take as much time as you need, and read it again. I read it over and over and get something different, and I have trouble even now sometimes with the chapters. So, and I'm okay with that.
Wow. Well, that is beautiful, because we have to give ourselves grace to understand that this, like you said earlier, this is a journey. It's not a sprint. And
Right.
so take your time, and your healing process is different for everybody else, from everybody else. Your getting through the grieving process is different from everybody else. And it's okay to get to chapter 2 on November the 18th and then say, I won't pick it back up to December the 1st because that's my time. And
Right.
that's okay. And I just love it. So tell us how people can connect with you on your social media platforms. What are those?
Oh, we are on Facebook, and we're on Instagram, Jennifer D, as in Delta Black. So Jennifer D Black, and then on Facebook it is First 24 Bereavement, or you can look up Jennifer D Black as well. We're on Twitter, First 24 Bereavement, and yeah, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. My name, one way or another, First 24 Bereavement. You will find us.
And remember that your first is the number 1ST24, the number, and then LOSS.com.
Yes.
But another question that I have, what else do you do? I know that you have your concierge and you have your book. Tell people a little bit more about your coaching through your concierge service and the grieving process. What is that like?
So, yes, I am a certified grief coach. And so I help business and career driven women specifically to get unstuck from that heaviness of grief and to get them to start doing the things that they've put on hold as a result of that heaviness. So whether that is going back to school, whether that's starting that business, whether that is starting that foundation, whatever that is that you've been placing on hold because of that grief, because you're ready to move forward, you just don't know how to get there. So I'm going to walk you through how to get there and accomplish those things that you have put on hold as a result of that grief, because some people aren't ready, and that's okay. And
Yeah.
that's the difference between therapy and coaching. You're ready with the coaching, but you're not really sure how to do that, so I'm going to help you do that.
Oh, wow. How beautiful is that? And so, one last thing, I like first 24. And why the first 24?
Because we're there within the first 24 hours of your loved one passing away. So once you contact us, we are there, quickly there, because we care is our tag. So that's where first 24 came from, because we understand it's urgency. My clients are my family. So it's just like something's happening to my family, and I give it just as much love, care, compassion, and urgency. And so that's why it's called first 24.
And are you centrally located only in New Jersey, or do you help online, or how do
Both. I am in New Jersey. However,
virtual?
I've traveled, different places in the tri-state, and I can help you virtually. There's no limits on us. I'm going to help you in the best way that I can.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So we get to the good part. We have our viewers tonight, and we want to say thank you. So many people are chiming in. Here's what Janelle had to say. She said it's such an amazing book that helps you to heal. I love that Marcita said, and that's okay.
And that's
Yes, it is. And Janelle said that you are an executive grief coach. I love it.
okay.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So many people are engaging because this is a much needed subject to talk about. So we all grieve. There's nobody will escape that portion of
No
life.
one.
And so what
Right.
you're doing is a needed, it's a necessity for the world. And so tell our audience, those viewing, what are you offering as your prize? Or I mean, we're giving away, we have a giveaway. So
Yes.
tell us, what products or services are you going to include in your giveaway for this Indie Show Arthur Showcase?
I have a copy of Here's to Hope.
Wow.
And as a bonus, because I love y'all, I have a T-shirt which says, "No, I'm not over it."
Oh,
So this
beautiful.
comes when people try to ask you, "What's going on? Like, you're still grieving over that?" People actually do that.
They do.
Asking, "You're not over that." This shows you there's no time frame with grief. No, I'm not over it. So yes.
Okay. And so for those that may not win, they can go to your website. Will they be able to order that shirt as well as your book there?
They can DM me for the shirt. The shirt isn't on my website yet.
Okay.
I've had a lot of orders, but I haven't gotten it on there yet. But I will get it on there. So just DM me, and I will make sure that happens. And you have this T-shirt as well. So, yay!
Okay, okay. You heard it directly from our indie author who's kicking it off for us tonight, Miss Jennifer Black. And she said you cannot get the shirt on the website, but you can DM her and tell us your social media handles again. I know you said Jennifer D. Black.
Jennifer D. Black, and then First 24 Bereavement.
First 24 bereavement.
Yep.
Yeah. Black on social media. And so that is a beautiful thing. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for
Thank
coming.
you.
Everybody is saying this is Nikisa saying that she love it. It's been a blessing to her friends and family. Let me say this before we close out in the next 2 to 3 minutes. If you know that people are really grieving during this Thanksgiving holiday season, it gets hard for people to coming over for family gatherings now that COVID is kind of lifting, and you know that people's hearts are heavy. Maybe they lost people through COVID or during COVID. And maybe, the holidays is a time that they lost somebody prior to COVID. And, every time around this year, they go through this certain emotions and they kind of shut off and isolate themselves. Why not give them here's to hope? Why not offer hope for the holidays? Jesus came so that we can have hope. And
Yes,
so why won't you give hope for the
yes.
holidays? Order your copy. Give it to a family, a friend, or a loved one that you know needs just a sprinkle of hope.
Yes.
And what hope means for me is helping other people every day. And so you just give them hope for the holidays. Say that you will join Jennifer Black in making this book #1 over and over and over and over and over again. But not only that, let's bless somebody this holiday with this book, Here's to Hope, by saying, hey, I see that you're grieving. I understand it. I'm just here to tell you that there is hope at the end. And if you need extra beyond this book, tell them to talk to Miss Jennifer Black, because she is a certified grief counselor and grief coach, and she knows exactly how to get them to the next phase in their life and help push them forward when they are ready. So we thank you so much, Miss Jennifer. This is a timely devotional, and I look forward to speaking to you again. Thank you for your time. Thank you to everybody. We will be back again at 6:30. We'll start again with our next indie author. So do not do anything but go get you some water or something, get you something to drink, come back and rest in your seats, because 6:30 we have our next indie author and you do not want to miss it. In the comments, you can tell Miss Jennifer Black, thank you, and we appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking the time. God bless you. Bye-bye. I'll see you all at 6:30.